Yes, I think we can finally get started. I'm completely ready. Look, let me start with a really interesting question. You mentioned in your Zoom recording, which I found once, that you can buy a yacht for 500 euros. Can you please explain what's the deal? How can this actually happen? And can you just give a couple of examples, not from your own experience, from people you know?
Actually, you can get yachts for free. It depends on how convincing you are. Many stories tell of older owners, like grandfathers, who can't maintain their yacht and wish to pass it to someone who will. When a yacht is inherited, heirs might not know what to do with it. If uninterested, they can give it to someone who is, freeing up space. In Sweden, yachts often take up backyard space. These real stories happen often. So, in this case, if the yacht is completely uninteresting to the owner and someone comes along who is genuinely interested, they can just take it for free and free up space for others. For example, in Sweden, yachts often sit in backyards and take up a lot of space. So these are absolutely real stories and they happen quite often. The chance of finding a yacht for free is just as high as buying one for under 1,000 euros. That is, these are absolutely real stories. They occur often. Finding a yacht for free is just as likely as buying one for under 1,000 euros. Because small yachts, around 6 meters or 7 meters, are definitely a realistic price for people who just want to sell them and move on. There are a lot of auctions where you can buy good-sized yachts for 1,000 euros or a little more. In the Netherlands, for example, it's quite common to buy motor yachts around 10 meters for about 1,500 euros at an auction. It's a bit of a personal story. One of those stories that I love to tell is about a person who sold their yacht at an auction for €1. So it was a really nice yacht, prepared for a round-the-world trip, with a lot of equipment that cost quite a bit of money, but the person couldn't complete their journey due to health issues. Actually, he couldn't even start it. And since it was a big dream, a round-the-world trip, it's a goal that takes up a large part of one's life. It's a significant achievement for a person. And since he couldn't do it, he decided to put his yacht up for auction for €1, but with the condition that the couple or the person who buys the yacht would complete his round-the-world trip. And there was a yacht sold for €1. People bought it. There's a really interesting story there. So they went through a lot of difficulties while they were doing this round-the-world trip, but they did complete it. And I hope that the person was alive and well at that time, that his dream came true, even if it was through someone else's hands. But these are absolutely real stories. And when we talk about little yachts and the sea, there are many cases of giving away equipment because the yacht is small, but space is limited. You can't keep piling things, and there's no point in carrying many things. Sure, we carry things around thinking we'll sell this, but we're moving, and it's not easy to find buyers. No point in carrying many things. So we carry things around thinking we'll sell this, but we're moving, and it's not easy to find buyers. Sometimes we unload things onto a pontoon for free, so a lot of stuff gets given away. So sometimes things get unloaded onto a pontoon and are just given away to good hands, and whoever wants can leave you some kind of compensation. So a lot of things get given away, and there's a lot of stuff out there. So yachting is like, I would say that it's an environment for people who love adventures, who can find a lot along the way today. So they catch some dinghies. You know the story about people making crossings from Kazarskaya Grass to Montenegro, and every time during the off-season, during stormy weather, they catch new dinghies, which are motorized or not, rubber boats tied to the yacht to go ashore. It's a common practice. We pulled out such a dinghy ourselves. You can find a lot. They pull out anchors, some things, and other stuff. So it's indeed called treasure hunting on a yacht.
It's great that you explained what a dinghy is, because the first time you said it, it felt like you were talking about catching some dogs or something.
You know why it's called a dinghy? Because it's a small rubber boat, it's tied with a rope, and it's always being towed behind. Well, usually when you're going a short distance, and so you drag it behind you like a little dog. But of course, if you're going far, I recommend everyone to pull it out so we don't accidentally find your dinghy somewhere on the shore later.
Got it. Look, what if we summarize a bit? If a person has no means at all, but has a huge desire, they want to somehow acquire a yacht. It's still unclear under what conditions, what options are there. So can you list a couple of options? Like 2, 3. It's like an auction, not an auction.
You could, for example, find some old guy who has a yacht lying around and so on. Just briefly, if possible. One option is to simply walk around the marinas because there are a lot of yachts, and those cheap yachts are not published online. People don't spend time on that. So you can just walk around the marinas asking if there are any yachts for sale or some abandoned ones.
Sorry, could you explain? People who aren't really in the know. So, I came to the marina, and usually there's just the security guard there. Well, except for some people who might be hiding out on the yachts. Who should I look for? Who should I ask?
You can even ask the security guard. The security guard, he knows. So these people, port workers, are all connected to each other in one way or another. They know where the yachts are, where the owners are, and where they aren't. And basically they can see the condition of the yacht, what's happening with this yacht, and the security guards, they check all the docks and keep an eye on safety in the port, so they know a lot of details about different yachts, like who came when, which yacht the owner left on 3 months ago, and so on. So you can easily do that with a security guard, find out, and the port will just tell you about that specific yacht based on the information the security guard has, like what condition the yacht is in. Most of the time, if the yacht is abandoned and the owner isn't around, no one is paying for the mooring, but the marina can't just take the yacht. They go through their government institution to sue the yacht's owner, trying to claim it as their own due to unpaid mooring fees. And then this yacht is put up for auction or for sale as abandoned, or it's just given away, because disposal is generally a very expensive process. So the first and simplest way is to walk around the marinas, look at the yachts that are abandoned, that no one needs, and definitely ask around. The second option is, for example, if we're talking about Scandinavian countries, people literally have yachts sitting in their backyards. So basically just go and ask who needs a yacht and who doesn't. And basically word of mouth can help. These are really super cheap ways. Next we have the auction, where you can buy a fairly decent yacht for very little money. So the most important thing at the auction is the dates when they allow you to inspect the yacht, visit it, and see what the buyer has in their bag. And then you can buy it at the auction. And the next option is just international websites, auction sites. And there are situations when, for example, you can negotiate the price of a yacht down by up to 50%. Some traders, some sellers, they go for that. Here, you need to gauge the situation, meaning you should understand the seller's background, why they're selling this yacht, and then assess the situation accordingly, because while the situation can vary, someone is getting divorced. Yes, the couple broke up. They urgently need to sell the yacht. Someone is selling it as if it were dough. So you can clarify the situation and play on that. And the longer the bidding goes on, and the more you negotiate and communicate, the higher the chance that you'll get a significant discount. That is, here you need to act with persistence and pay attention to your mentality. So the mentality differs from country to country. And well, just some nuances. Read on the forums, yes, how people behave. For example, Spaniards are not very reliable. They can take a long time to schedule a boat showing and don't always respond quickly. They might even forget about you. For example, in the Netherlands, even if you've already seen the boat and are ready to pay, they might disappear for a while. So you need to check out these nuances on the forums.